everybody, and welcome back to another day of AA Fortnite. I am 22, joined always by the great and powerful Fizzable. Fizzable, how are you doing today?
Feeling great and powerful indeed. Another weekend of Amateur Esports Association Fortnite, and we have a fantastic selection of matches up ahead.
Oh,
We're here with
absolutely.
Zastro.
Yeah,
Start
hanging
off.
out with Astro. Fizzable, it's an exciting day today. Match 4. It's become something of a tradition here at the Amateur Esports Association. Match 4, just a little bit more competitive, perhaps, than the other matches. Maybe that is the case. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe that's just what I like to believe from the spectator side of things. But they're playing for just a little bit more today with the V-Bucks giveaway on the line. Fizzable, these players playing for the opportunity to show off some skins. We know they love to do that. 2,000, really 4,000 total V-Bucks on the line for these players today. And all they got to do is play the game. They come in, they play the game, they rack up their points, and they are entered into a raffle for some V-Bucks. So I think that's a fun little added component today.
Yeah, that's awesome. They get to an additional thing to play for, sort of mid-season. Sometimes you can lose sight of the goal, but you get a little bit of carrot on the stick. Might inspire you to bring out some new strategies here with 2 AM Clouds.
2 a.m. Clouds.
And we are, of course, with the Tulsa Roughnecks Red.
Yeah, and the Roughnecks Red roster, they have been doing a phenomenal job in their matches so far this season. And look at this. Looks like they're going to be actually getting a quick elimination there, Fizzable. I'm not even sure how that transpired. That must have been more on OG Leon's side, unless I missed something there with Clouds in the moment I looked away. But it looks like they're trying to sniff out the other player here, because this is the reload format. Of course, some nice shots landing. Got to keep in mind, Nusha definitely revived at this point. See a little bit of activity in the elimination feed with Hot Shoe getting eliminated. But Fizzable, that is not pertinent to this fight as shots continue to lay down, and it looks like they do get the knock onto Hogleg Killer there. But again, got to keep an eye out for Nusha because this is the reload format. Fizzable. And I think, it's a little bit dangerous for our Hogleg Killer Nusha duo to play so separated, but it's kind of interesting, and it's something we haven't really discussed about the reload format. In the early game, maybe it's a beneficial to spread out and just try to get loot in different spots, as opposed to the usual hunker down and make sure you're playing really disciplined team Fortnite with your other duo.
Yeah, I like the idea of splitting up and getting loot and shaking it up a little bit. You're a smaller target. A lot of teams, though, we've seen some teams have different approaches throughout the years here at the AEA with either kind of hunkering down and sort of looking at their options and taking calculated fights, and some teams just kind of know they've got it and kind of just really run around and look for the kills. This is, let's say,
Oh, look at that.
Okay, oh my gosh.
Right into the fight off of the mobility there. Stephen Curry's aura. Definitely some name changes here. In any case, it'll work against 200 IQ Dread. Steph Curry gonna find the 3 there. Actually, it only counts for 1 here in the Amateur Esports Association. They will get their 1 point. But very, very good from this team. Fizzable, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think you're going to find these guys on roster. I think these 2 players have changed their name, and we're going to have to.
Yes.
Yeah, their points will be tabulated correctly, but for the sake of stream, I can't I can't pretend to
No, they picked 2 good players to
emulate.
Emulate. Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
At least.
Yeah, and then the Impulse Nade, it seems now coming out of the launcher variety in this patch of Fortnite. Always a powerful tool. Man, and look at this decision-making, the decisiveness coming off from our NBA duo here, who are running teams down with their aura. Steph Curry drilling through this wall right now, trying to find the opening. Nice off angle here, damage landing, and with the shotgun as well. Not quite finding the knock yet, but they look at this split right now, Fizzable. They're playing on opposite sides of the box, working together very well, and they do not seem to care that they are in the storm one bit.
I'm liking this a lot from Curry here. Very weird. I was gonna shout out the, if we have just a second, the skin. It's like a Shohei Ohtani, but it looks almost like a football sort of samurai getup.
It matches
Interesting.
the
Oh my
the
goodness,
athletic
being
feel.
attacked now. Do we know who's attacking?
Oh, I am not certain who's on the other side. I don't see. It looks like it's actually 2 a.m. Clouds there is actually knocked by LeBron's aura. So, with that being said, I think that means that this is going to be the Roughnecks Red roster on the other side, which means a very formidable team now on the exit here, visible right over Stephen Curry's head, and going to continue this skirmish. That was not the exit I believe this player was looking for, but remember, at this point, 2 a.m. Clouds will have been reloaded, dropping in somewhere on the outskirts of this fight. OG Leon is down, but that's not all out for Roughnecks Red, unless the timing was just right there where that elimination came through. But it is my suspicion this could be 2 a.m. Clouds visible. They are looking to take out the entire duo of Roughnecks Red relatively early. It's a high-placing roster, Roughnecks Red. If they're able to do this, they'll be shutting down a lot of points, but every second that passes means that Leon might be back up in LeBron visible. He's on the ground. There's the full knock. 2 a.m. Dog is down, and truthfully, visible, I'm just not certain if that was quick enough. We might have Leon somewhere around. I'm kind of jumping around to see if we see OG Leon. I don't see it, but here's 2 a.m. Cloud. Yes, they are back up. So they have been rebooted. They weren't able to successfully snuff out that Roughnecks Red torch quite yet.
Yeah, a little reminder that this mode is not your traditional Fortnite where you go down and there's really only a small chance of being rebooted. If you don't eliminate the squad you're attacking, they're going to come back, and the down teammate will always res. I don't know if that has a cutoff by the end.
It does, yeah. I think it's Storm. It's either circle 8 or 9. You can see we're on 4 out of 12 right now. I think by 8 or 9, the reload does turn off. So by the end of the game, you do have to clutch up, make sure you're not relying on that reload mechanic too heavily. But it is a good mechanic. It's an interesting mechanic, right? It kind of cuts both ways, visible. Because if you're a very aggressive team, yes, you miss out on that opportunity to eliminate duos as reliably, because if they sustain for just long enough, they get that reload. But the other way that it cuts is, well, if they're reloaded, you could just go kill them again. And there are teams that are racking up a huge number of elimination points, and apparently 2 a.m. Clouds is included in that, despite falling early as well. Getting a elimination there as we catch up the tail end of this fight. We're hanging out a little bit with Roughnecks Red today. We've been all around them.
Yeah, Roughnecks Red is very much a mainstay on this I say channel, but in our league, right?
Absolutely.
Just always force, always to be reckoned with, always hanging around. So great to see them coming through every single week. They're always in that conversation. You see LeBron on top. Taking out boost reset there, getting the finish. I don't know if they got the whole duo though, which always becomes the interesting question when that occurs.
Yeah. Looks like 2 a.m. Clouds was taking some shot. We'll kind of bounce around. It looks like our NBA duo is actually still in that fight, visible, so we're going to catch the tail end of that. You imagine the reload would have happened, but still, are they going to be able to close out this elimination? Both pushing into the box, and it is going to be LeBron finding Keeg the Destroyer, getting the full knock there, but where is the duo? Oh, maybe that's them, visible. They're closing in on the player now, but every moment that elimination doesn't come through, Keeg the Destroyer could be rejoining this fight. Good cover fire coming down from LeBron Aura here. Our Aura squad, our NBA squad. And this is not a place where I would like to be if I was boost reset. Very sketchy. As a very, very, very novice Fortnite player, I hate the water, visible. Every time I'm in the water, it feels like a death sentence. But these players are a little bit more, mechanically able than I. LeBron here closing in on the box, landing a nice shot, but taking a handful of damage, visible. It's going to be a little bit sketchy here as this fight continues. Going to be a little bit of a withdrawal, popping the minis here to stay alive, but the pressure continues to stay on, and that is a nice shot through the edit coming in from 2 a.m. Clouds visible. This is a rematch. We have watched this exact fight once before.
I think they got it both that time, though.
But this time it would be for... Did we see Steph Curry go down? Did Steph Curry go down, visible?
To be honest, I don't know. I thought I saw... Maybe I just saw on top just for LeBron twice. I think that's what I was...
All right, because it does look like LeBron is still hanging around. We are getting down to the last few groups here. This has been such a competitive game. Somehow, I feel like we've watched this NBA squad versus Roughnecks Red over and over and over again. It's a scrimmage environment between these two teams right now. They are just at each other's throats, neither of them able to find the dagger. But we are getting dangerously close to that late game territory visible where reloads are no longer an option, and that is really when these elims are going to count for more than just 1 point in the pocket. There is a full knock onto Steph. LeBron still roaming around somewhere. Cambu and Chesburger both eliminated now by Keeg the Destroyer and Boost Reset. So some good points coming in there.
And Keeg, we did see Boost Reset go down, so I suppose Keeg was a survivor of that conflict there, that little battle. So
yeah.
Keeg and Boost, part of the Mammy Merchants.
And you know, this is a pretty good look.
Batman and Catwoman.
Oh, you know, hey, look at that. Respect to that, right? We're on theme. Appreciate that. No, the Mammy Merchants here, this is a good place for them. We're entering this late game territory, and look at this visible. They're sitting on 5 eliminations, right? This is a strong showing from the Mammy Merchants here of this contender Springfield Mavericks. So I'm very excited to see how this is going to shake out for them. There's a little bit of activity in their corner. And there's the engage. Look at that with the nade there. But is that a place you want to be inside the box? Boost Reset's gonna find that elimination, and it's the 2K duo, the NBA 2K duo visible with LeBron going down here. Steph Curry very nearby, and they are just trying to get healed up while keeping this wall alive, keeping the pressure backward. But something's got to break visible. They need to really push their advantage. It's a 2v1 situation.
Yeah, this is one of those situations that you don't envy. You don't want to find yourself in this spot. You've got a really good team, breathing down your neck a little bit. Maybe try to fight for some space. Try to find a way to kind of get out of this situation. I just don't like being boxed in Fortnite. I know they don't mind as much as I do as just a viewer and a spectator. Because this is where they make more of a home of this game than I can.
Sure.
But at the same time, you just don't want to get surrounded. You don't want to get your options limited. You want to be able to kind of choose your own path, so to speak, and not being able to do what you want to do is always a little bit tough, limiting.
Yeah. One thing
that's what they're going to do. The shots stopped coming.
They have, but they don't really want to forfeit this area. They've invested, you know, a lot of expensive materials, quote unquote. They have a fortified structure here and a lot of pieces in this area. So if they could bait another team into a fight in this area, they really would be advantaged. Unfortunately, we can't see exactly where the storm is taking us due to a map bug. But hopefully, hopefully for the Mammy Merchants, it's not too far. We'll keep an eye on them as this game develops. 2 AM Dog and 200 IQ Dread. Is this North Carolina Gold visible? I feel like it's always on the tip of my tongue. It's the 2 AM names. I think we have like a couple of 2 AM or a couple of IQ names.
We have AMs and IQs together.
Yeah.
Teams.
Yeah.
These are the NCEA Platinum.
Platinum. The NCAA Platinum roster. A very strong roster, a top 5 roster. Yet to find a win this season in the reload competition. So today's a big day, Fizzball. We're closing in match number 4. After this, it's one more match day. If you want to make your mark, you want to let the other teams know that you can get that win, today's the day to do it. So we're rooting for North Carolina Platinum in that way. They're sitting on 5 eliminations, all of them currently in the pocket of 200 IQ Dread. It counts for the team either way. Dangerously close, Fizzball. Look at that sliver of HP left there for 2 AM Dog, as they are just receiving shots. One thing about it, though, Fizzball, we are in the late game at this point. So as these shots break out, you got to wonder, are we attracting another team to the fight? And there is a rotation coming through. There are multiple teams involved with this skirmish right now.
I like what they're doing. They're just low on resources a little bit, especially 2 AM Dog.
A couple of shots.
Not wanting to attract too much attention. Going to get shots up where they can. Does have a health kit there. The IQ Dread helping him out. CA Platinum, you see Keeg the Destroyer going down again. Steph Curry's Aura and Keeg the Destroyer, those two teams, those two players, exchanging blows the entire game.
Has been that way. It definitely has. A little bit of loot here for 2 AM Dog. Not a horrible place to be for North Carolina Platinum, but they haven't really found that domino. They need to knock that first domino down and then lead it into a couple more. That's going to be some points. Lead them to that top podium finish here, maybe even the victory royale, but it's still a little bit awkward, a little bit congested. Let's bounce around and see where everybody's at. Moving around is Zastro here, maybe taking some shots from that North Carolina Platinum roster that we were just looking at. We also have boost reset, King Destroyer down visible, and there's no reloads available at this point in the game. 6 points here for our Mammy Merchants, but they have got to figure out how to get it done as a solo, and look at the damage that is being received here onto boost reset. Gonna be very, very dicey, and there is gonna be the elimination coming through from North Carolina Platinum. Great performance there from the Mammy Merchants. Not quite able to make the podium in this match, but very, very close to that. Good points gonna be going their way on the leaderboard. OG Leon, 2AM Clouds, that's going to be a Roughnecks Red roster. Now making the final three is that elimination onto Steph Curry. Of course, who else? That elimination leaves us down to just 3 teams left alive. One of them is the solo player of Zastro B Movin'. The key here, Fizzable. You're a solo. There's 2 other duos left in the lobby. My advice, be the third party. You don't want to take that disadvantage 1v2, although it might not be an option as Zastro is receiving shots from above right now. Has to find some opening, some way to go, but look at that. 2AM Clouds actually looks to have been knocked off of the high ground there and falls to or is eliminated due to the fall damage. Visible.
Ooh, wow.
Zastro eliminated as well. And that's a victory royale in very quick breakdown there. That whole map came apart, but it is all green for 2AM Dog and 200 IQ Dread. Visible, welcome back. We're getting into game 2 here. That was a fantastic way to start the day. The first victory royale in that last match for North Carolina Platinum. A great way to start the day. But now we're hanging out with the Yarks Fortniters, and I've made the joke once, I've made it 1,000 times, Visible. Today it's just the Fortniter. Roymain seems to be rocking it as a solo today. It's a smart start out match day number 4.
And to just kind of piggyback off of what you were saying, I love that we got a first win for a very quality team. I think we talked about there was something like 6th or 5th, you know, in that top 5 upper echelon of teams. They just haven't gotten that one win yet. That very that crowning achievement. Very, very difficult to get. You have up to 10 or more teams all vying for the same position. Very, very difficult indeed. So congratulations to them. We're here at the Yarks Fortniters, as you said. This is one of those teams that have been there, done that. They've been champions. They've come a long way. Really fantastic squad to watch. A team that you should get the notepad out while you're watching.
Definitely so, and we're going to keep keeping an eye on Roymain 22 as we go out through this match number 2, game day number 4 here. And it's the Roughnecks here, also checking them out. The Roughnecks have put on a fantastic match this season, or games this season, I should say. Match day after match day after match day, they are putting on a great show, putting up good numbers. Very excited to see how their standings shape up as we really are getting toward the end of the regular season, Visible. They've done a fantastic job, a spectacular job of that. We have Hard Case here of Alpha Esports getting materials up and getting prepped for our late game Roymain, and looks like that's who we have access to right now. So we'll hang out a little bit with some of these teams and see if the fight breaks out. Actually, it looks like the Roughnecks Red, they might be onto something here, Visible. What have they sniffed out in this bush? They are trying to chase it down, or maybe they just thought they saw something, because I'm not sure if there's anybody in this area right now. But they do have one elimination already secured.
Yeah, this will be intriguing to see how they're able to contend with this.
Oh, Hard Case.
LX Hard Case. Yeah, getting clipped there. Just trying to play a little bit of Minecraft for a second, and
yep.
And gets hit for it.
And you know, this, I believe that was the Roughnecks Red roster firing those shots onto Hard Case. So that's a tricky situation for Hard Case. This reload format is particularly hard for anybody that's left as a solo in one of these matches. And so Hard Case is really at a disadvantage here. Does not want to participate in any of these early fights. Man, a couple of solos roaming around this lobby, Visible. At least if somebody's disadvantaged, there's a handful of them. BDist Hawk here, also rocking it as a solo, but they seem to be doing okay for now, fully kitted up and healthed up here, so hopefully.
And if I could, I think possibly they could be duoed. They could be.
Oh, do we think that
For
BDS Talk
strength.
and
I
Hard Case are
think
together? Maybe like a visual bug
Hardcase
situation?
might have changed their name from Try Harder to Hardcase. That's the only hard name we have in here with that term in there.
Oh, okay.
And BDS Hawk is definitely Tulsa Roughnecks Gold, but I had a
Mm.
suspicion
I'm
last player is also.
okay. I'm pretty sure that Hard Case is actually a an Alpha Esports player. So I'll have to we'll figure that out in any case. But
In any case, BDS Hawk is definitely Tulsa Roughnecks Gold and seemingly a solo at this point, unfortunately.
Macaroni is my dad. Visible. Is that does that enter the contest for best best usernames in the AA Fortnite competition?
It's got to be up there. It feels like it's almost a marriage between sort of the new era of gamer and the old era gamer, where it was always like toaster panda or taco truck. It was always two or three random verbs and adjectives thrown together.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it feels a little almost throwback.
It's a classic, really. It's a classic. I think this team was taking shots at Roy Main there, if I recognize that correctly. Roy Main able to get out and escape that one. Macaroni still looking for the opening here, trying to find if they're able to get that done. But
And I can confidently say this is NCEA white, and this is either a healthy army or Ald H3A1 alongside Nuna Nusha.
you know, of all the usernames, Macaroni might be the strongest of the three. So
Yes,
if we have to see the player name changes, if that's a reality the AA has to contend with, then at least we're getting some good names out of it. And a little bit of a slow start here, Fizzle. A little bit of a slower start. We're not seeing a ton of breakout fights taking place now. Hardcase and OG Leon actually participating in a little bit of a skirmish somewhere in the map, but we're currently not near that battle at all. We're just hanging out with Roy Main and Macaroni, who actually, Macaroni has company. Roy Main right on top of the box here, trying to find the opening 1v2 visible. Shots landing as well. Roy Main not scared of this fight despite being at a numbers disadvantage and actually finds the knock onto Nunu Nusha. If this is a quick succession of eliminations, Roy Main will successfully eliminate a duo in a 1v2 situation. Macaroni doing a good job of making some space here just a few seconds before Nunu Nusha is going to be able to be reloaded.
And Roy Main taking a little bit of chip damage, nothing too convincing there, and possibly a bug, or we've lost our duo.
No. I do believe Roy Main is playing as a solo.
Okay,
So, yeah, that's what makes this even more sketchy. Nunu Nusha knocked again visible. That's the thing about being reloaded. You don't have a ton of good items with you. You do get a couple of hand-me-downs there to make sure you're not a total fish out of water, but still sketchy. And now with Nunu Nusha and Macaroni dead, I think visible, that's going to be it. I think yeah, that's it for that duo there. North Carolina White is successfully eliminated and visible. If it was anybody else, I might speak to, you know, how that should have gone their way. It was a 1v2 situation. How does that get fumbled? But realistically, that's just the Roy Main effect visible. Roy Main, the Yarks Fortniters, this player is a multi-year national champion here at the AEA. They know exactly how to play under stress. They're used to doing it with a duo, and they do it well, but even as a solo, able to get it done here on game day number 4 of the Spring Series competition.
Yeah, one of the greats of our league, and historically has been very, very accomplished. Kind of interesting to see what they can do as a solo, and just a reminder, does not get to respawn. No respawns, obviously, as a solo. The rest of the teams, he's going to have to kill repeatedly until the end. So kind of maybe wise to not take too many engagements or try to single out the other solos on the map. We're here once again with 2am Dog and 200 IQ Dread.
Yep, that would be a visual bug. 200 IQ Dread is alive, and the little
Yes.
X there would definitely be a visual bug. But yeah, so this is our North Carolina Platinum roster. They put one up today. Maybe they're feeling hot visible. They might be able to put a couple together. I'll also make a note. We caught up last game with Steph Curry and LeBron's Aura. I do believe that is actually our Carolina Storm Academy. But before we talk about them, we got to keep our eye on what I think is Roy Main engaging on the North Carolina Platinum. They were able to get it done against the North Carolina White roster a moment ago. Can Roy Main pull it off again? 1v2. It's a disadvantaged situation, and this is a pretty veteran team, a pretty well-seasoned team out of the North Carolina Platinum roster. They're playing pretty well as a duo, which is going to be fundamental to this type of skirmish. You just need to play your numbers advantage correctly. Roy Main engaged this fight, but not so sure they want to end it. Trying to get the disengage here, but I'm not sure that North Carolina Platinum is going to let that happen, Visible.
And 2-8 M-Dog of NCAA Platinum. IQ Dread here. They're a little bit low on the shields. We're getting a little bit juiced up here, but they're having to kind of skirt this conflict a little bit. They're not at full strength. They're not super grouped at the moment. They are a team that even when down a little bit, not going to be too much of an issue.
That's 2AM Dog.
Oh my goodness, 2AM Dog goes down. Steph Curry's aura walks right over him, and gonna now go for the quick reposition to kind of limit anyone's ability to counteract what just happened. Amazing play there, but of course does not take NCAA Platinum out of the game.
LeBron and Steph Curry, currently the force to be reckoned with. They have control of this middle area here, and I think there are a number of teams visible right around us here. Cambu and Chesburger are nearby. Roy Main started that fight a little bit ago, still in the mix. We also have Ketchup and Alpha Esports 6. I'm inclined to say this is probably Wolfpack Black. It could be Wolfpack Red. Visible, you might be able to correct me on that. But if they are nearby this fight, this is a big opportunity for them. A nice look there for Alpha Esports 6. I saw the vision, not quite able to land the shot. And, you know, just ultimately deciding to stay safe while all this skirmishing is taking place on the side here.
This is a Wolfpack Black.
Okay, Wolfpack Black. We'll keep an eye on them as things are getting a little bit developed here. Carolina Storm Academy, they're looking to run it down. Visible. What an opening this must have been. Where we were spectating, I said it was a little bit slower. I think I know why. Do you see that elimination count for Steph Curry's aura? 14 eliminations at this point. LeBron has 6. This duo, with still Fortnite game left to play, already has 20 eliminations. They're rushing down another player now. Who's on the receiving end? I'm not quite sure yet. It might be Chesburger. It is Chesburger 119 knocked here. And there's the full elimination, but that does mean that I believe Cambu is still near and around undetected. Reboot's not quite available at this point in the map, but Cambu is still alive for their team. Roy Main alive, Alpha Esports 6 and Ketchup alive for the Wolfpack Black roster. Taking shots though, Visible.
Yeah, half health there. Alpha Esports and Ketchup just trying to get repositioned a little bit. Wolfpack Black here. They're looking at they're right on the edge of a podium finish here, so this would be a fantastic way if they can't get the round. When Ketchup does go down, but Alpha Esports still up, still has a chance to has what we call a puncher's chance. You can go up against Mike Tyson, but you know, if you hit him the right way, you might be able to knock down a lot bigger opponents. So these opponents in the game right now that are looking like they are in fact on top, such as our LeBron and Curry players, hunting now the player down here from Wolfpack Black. Some good evasion. Not a lot of really ways Wolfpack Black player can fight back right now, hoping for maybe a third party to disrupt this action. LeBron and Steph Curry are.
It was actually Roy Main.
Oh.
Wait, was it? No, I'm just lying to you. It was Alpha Esports 6, but at the same time, Roy Main went down. I apologize, Visible.
Yep.
So Roy Main and Alpha Esports 6 both eliminated there, and look at the hesitation. It doesn't exist. They're just gunning it down. They're right on to the next thing, Visible. These players are incredibly focused, incredibly decisive. Carolina Storm Academy looking like a well-oiled machine as they run through the later end of this match day here. They found their next target, barreling shots onto them. No elimination quite yet. If I suspect Cambu might be on the receiving end of this, it is. Cambu now having to evade the target, the site of Carolina Storm Academy. We're down to just 3 teams Visible. One of them is the solo here of Cambu. Of course, we have Carolina Storm Academy, and then we have the North Carolina Platinum roster, the team that has won already today. 3 eliminations, not quite the 20-plus that Carolina Storm Academy have managed to put together in this round, but all that matters is the final blow. Who's left standing when the dust really settles and the victory royale is declared.
IQ Dread and AM Dog. AM Dog goes down.
That's no good. That's really sketchy.
Steph Curry's aura is just... How many kills is this now? Going on 20.
Going on 24 between the two. Steph Curry himself with 16. I mean, he's putting up numbers like we would expect anytime he steps on the court. All right, that was pretty bad. That wasn't a good one. I won't claim it was. We'll leave it to the Fortnite with 4 players left alive. 2 of them are this duo of Carolina Storm Academy. They look on top because they've had a dominant round here in game number 2, but they're also the last remaining duo. 2 solos. Are either of them going to be able to take out Carolina Storm Academy, who have put on maybe one of the most dominant performances we have ever seen in a single round here in the AA Fortnite competition? Seems that they've got their eyes on at least one of the last remaining players, and they're pushing towards them. Visible, one thing you'll notice is that they are very dedicated to holding the center high ground. They understand it's a keystone in their gameplay for this last circle here. They kind of keep cycling back to it, using it as a place to search for information from, and they're just sniffing out these little spots in the corner. Very sketchy time to be in the storm. There is going to be the elimination onto 200 IQ Dread from North Carolina Platinum roster. That means it's just Cambu left alive. The final 2 teams, and it's just going to be Carolina Storm Academy winning it all here. The victory royale to them on the back of 26 eliminations. And we are in match number 3, game day number 4, AEA Spring Series Fortnite Visible. This should be a good one. It should be a good one. We had one of the most dominant performances I think we have ever seen. 26 eliminations in that previous round for the Carolina Storm Academy team. I mean, an absolute showcase by them. A way to follow up after, definitely a less showy round 1 for them, where North Carolina Platinum was able to be the ones to close it out. And now we're with J Strikers and Void Terminal. And now we're with Hogleg Killer and Falcon's Rider as they exited our streamable area, unfortunately. But we'll circle back to them, I'm sure. Hogleg Killer actually getting kind of ran down there by 2AM Clouds, who was moving like a menace around these woods here, trying to find these eliminations in the early game. More shots landing now onto 2AM Dog, and this is a chaotic way to get the day started.
It really is, and Hogkilla just with Valkyrs, of course, was part of the Irons, trying to keep that tally of all the new teams we get to see throughout the day. 2AM Dog, whose health bar just disappeared a little bit, got shot by someone, presumably.
Yeah, I don't think they're... when they exit the play, we can only spectate a certain amount of the map at a time. That's just how the spectator works, and so if they exit that area, they kind of just disappear. But I will give a little bit of background information. In between the matches, Visible and I were doing what we do best. We were complaining about the fact that we could not see the minimap. And look at that, Fortnite was like, okay, fine. You want the minimap? You can have the minimap. Here's Pleasant Park, where we have Falcon's Rider, Hogleg Killer. Is that going to be our Irons Visible? I think that's Springfield, the Irons. And
Hogleg Killer and Falcon's.
Look at 2AM Dog. 2AM Dog has decided that there's something in the storm that they really, really need to go check out over there. So they are back there. 200 IQ Dread in the area as well. So that's, of course, the North Carolina Platinum roster. Very close to the Irons here. Are they aware that they are so near each other is one thing that I'm curious about.
We're in kind of a tornado shelter of some sorts.
Yeah, the bunker.
Park. We have the behind-the-scenes information they don't, which is that there's a very, very quality team in the region moving west to east. It looks like actually they're pretty wary of something. Yeah, they may have been spotted out. Someone sounds like they're building on top. This is actually turning into a little bit of a horror game. Yeah,
a little bit of a jump scare potentially coming in. I wanted to see if we could check that out. Somehow there's also a huge skirmish going on with the Roughnecks Red roster. We'll check in on a little bit of that. Actually, they eliminated a player from Carolina Storm Academy. I'm not sure if they got both, but we got to go back to our horror film here as in the tornado shelter with the candlestick. We have a murder mystery potentially about to take place. Was that a good clue joke?
The aliens' weakness is water, and no one's going to get that reference.
All right, casters are just speaking gibberish as the fight does break out. Falcon's Rider is going to absolutely find that shot onto 200 IQ Dread, I believe it was, which means 2AM Dog still somewhere in the mix, and a laser beam comes in from Macaroni. or 2 a.m. Cloud, actually. Macaroni does laser beam Void Terminal, but we did not quite see that one. That was just off camera. 2 a.m. Dog still alive. 200 IQ Dread reloaded visible. Man, it's a little rainy out here. No umbrella for these teams stuck in the storm, and you can see this is going to be quite the sprint for these teams to make it back to safety. This could be a little bit of a sticky re-engage to get out of the storm in the later game. Leon's going to find that final elimination onto 200 IQ Dread, fresh off of the reload for them. And this is the Roughnecks Red roster now finally trying to make it back to the outer ring of the storm, trying to get back to safety. Carolina Storm Academy, they did suffer a casualty earlier. Still, they've gotten a limb themselves, but that's a step back, right? When you put up a performance like 26 limbs, it's a hard match to follow for sure. A couple, right as they walk out of the door there, getting shot down by Steph Curry. And LeBron James is close to follow. Carolina Storm Academy may be able to demonstrate how they got so many eliminations in the previous round. Visible, nice edit, doesn't quite find the shot. There the shot goes.
It's just so clean. You can see how much damage was Curry able to pump out while also building at the same time and just being able to keep the damage off of himself. Just really, really excellently done. Always fascinating to see how those really, really excellent players navigate this kind of fights.
Yeah, I mean, all of these players have the things that they're good at, the things that they, maybe need to improve on. But Carolina Storm Academy, they just seem to be clean. They seem to be textbook Fortnite players. They know exactly their mechanics, they know their fundamentals, their rotations. They just have everything down at a level that is really proving to be difficult to handle for a handful of these teams here. Not impossible, like you said. We've seen teams take them out even earlier. They were able to find that first knock, and it's not that they win every single game, but they are certainly putting on a strong performance in this competition this spring. North Carolina Platinum making a rotation. So many teams visible stuck outside of the storm. I think our hot drop just ended up being outside of circle, and a lot of teams having to play catch up right now, which means a lot of teams are going to be pretty low on resources. It is consuming to live in the storm for such a long time. 2 a.m. Clouds and Leon have made it out for the Roughnecks Red, and they've also got an additional elimination onto Chesburger there. So the Roughnecks Red now sitting at 8 eliminations here in round number 3.
And speaking of water, that movie reference, by the way,
let's hear it.
Movie called Signs, where aliens invade the Earth, and the aliens' great weakness is water.
It's water. Okay, all right.
So why would they come to Earth? And it kind of reminds me a little bit of why would you ever take a fight with this NCAA Platinum team? You come into the Fortnite match. That's how. See, we're gonna loop it all the way back.
It's all put back together.
You go into this Fortnite match, you know who the top couple teams are. You want to try to avoid them or take them out early, I suppose, is the opposite theory. I would definitely advise caution when approaching these sort of players. But we're here with Strikers now.
J Strikers and Void
Terminal.
I think that's pretty good. Pretty good visible. Thanks for the insight.
CEA Navy, yeah, just a little insight, little culture for our youngins who haven't seen movies from the 90s, I want to say.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed is I'm pretty sure Void Terminal is just Captain Jack Sparrow. I don't know if that's canon or if that's just. I mean, that's definitely Captain. Yep. That's just. All right, so very good. Cap. Good to see you, Cap. Or somebody. I'm not exactly sure.
Something's wrong with
it is very Pirates of the Caribbean. So we'll keep an eye on that as this game develops. Boost reset Keeg the Destroyer.
Jack wasn't looking good.
I believe this is our Mammy Merchants, right? And Mammy Merchants, they've been doing quite well today.
Yeah, they've appeared on screen quite a bit today. Keeg does get dropped there.
It might be a caster's curse, unfortunately. Boost reset. We'll see if I can find. Trying to make this escape. It's early enough that the reboot would come through. Look at the HP visible. But I don't think Keeg was able to get back in the game in time. And so that's going to be Roughnecks Red finding those eliminations. Things are getting a little bit sketchy on the map right now. Check it out. It's congested. It's close quarters. It's J Strikers, Void Terminal, and Captain Jack Sparrow hiding in this house right now. Look at the map here on the Snobby Shoals. So many teams so close to fighting one another. 2 a.m. Dog. We have not seen 2 a.m. Dog inside the circle this entire map. What we do see is some very aggressive rotations coming through from Carolina Storm Academy. They're closing the distance, breaking into the box, and finding the knock there for LeBron onto OG Leon. That means Roughnecks Red, they're down to 1 Fizzable. Can they make it 0? Steph Curry pushing up the high ground of this box, trying to work around the edits. Roughnecks Red putting up a very respectable fight. Storm Circle 6, which means reloads should still be on the table. 2 AM Clouds is eliminated, but was it done in time? Visible, it might have been. I think that might have been the
So
full knock
that
for
was
the
very,
Roughnecks
I
Red.
mean, about as close as you can get it there too.
Yeah, very close. That reboot would have been right around the corner had it been available. Carolina Storm Academy with a very important couple of eliminations there. Now they are up to 11, but Visible LeBron has been knocked. I actually missed the player that was able to do that, but that's another example. Carolina Storm Academy. Powerful, confident, strong, but not unbeatable, as they show a sign of humanity right there. Getting knocked. Laser beam coming out from Steph Curry. Trying to find some chip damage that they can work off of here. An aggressive rotation. Carolina Storm Academy, they rarely hesitate Visible. Their W keys taped down at all times. Barreling into teams. 2 AM Dog is eliminated once again, which means maybe that reboot did come through Visible, because that would be... Actually, no, that's going to be our NCAA Platinum team. Excuse me. It's the AMs. I have an old brain. We can't mix up the AMs and the IQs and all these things. But in any case, Carolina Storm Academy looking fantastic right now.
Yeah, and they always seem to. Today has been, however, an extra special day really for them. They've been all over our stream so far, all over the video. They've been just constant presence, and alongside them, of course, maybe even surpassing them in some ways today, especially on the kill tally. LeBron and Steph.
Yeah,
Carolina Storm Academy duo.
Doing
It's why they haven't teamed up IRL.
yeah, it's not allowed. It's not allowed. We can never see this take place. Watch there be a trade announcement like tomorrow. And our Fortnite players, I had the inside information. Okay, so J Strikers and Void Terminal. Can you confirm this roster for me, Visible? Are we looking at? Is this one of our Springfield teams?
NCEA Navy.
Oh, this is. Is this a Yark? Oh, you said Navy. Excuse me. I just totally missed that. North Carolina Navy. Okay. So this is big, Visible. We are in the final 3 teams here, and North Carolina Navy. The fact that they're hunkering down right now tells you 2 things. 1, they're interested in making it to the top 2, and 2, I think it shows that they have some confidence that they can win once they get there. Right? They feel confident in their loot. They feel like they don't have this need to kind of senselessly waste their resources, their ammunition, their mats. Right? They just want to stay healthy until it's time to really get down to the brass tacks of the final 2v2 play for that victory royale. And who's it going to be against? Is it Carolina Storm Academy or is it North Carolina Platinum, who are currently working from the bottom of this skirmish here? It's 200 IQ Dread with some big rotations, but that's going to be it, Visible, as Steph Curry's aura is going to find the final blow there. And it's 2 players from Carolina Storm Academy sitting on 14 eliminations. And then it's 2 players from North Carolina Navy. 3 eliminations to their name, but all that matters is who's going to find the victory royale. 2v2, both teams Visible, rather well kitted, and it's going to break out now.
J Strikers Void Terminal. Can they survive? J Strikers cannot there. Terminal, Jack Sparrow, our only hope, gets dropped. Steph Curry's aura has just been too much today. Every single second of stage presence, the aura is unmistakable. The wins are there. The kills are there too. Fantastic gameplay.
All right, Visible, we are back with game number 4 here, the final match day of game day number 4. I'm so excited to look at the standings after today, Visible. There's just been so many pop-off moments, so many teams that have been making it far who aren't usually at the tippity top of the leaderboard, right? So I'm excited to see where these standings shake up after today, especially for the Roughnecks Red, who we're checking out right now. We are looking at OG Leon and 2 AM Clouds as they are roaming around and getting ready for the final game. Of course, they step out of our playable area, so now we're checking out Hardcase. We'll catch up.
Yeah, exactly. Not much better than to see teams rise and fall over the course of the season. That is where the exciting point of every single storyline is reaching the peak is getting dropped from it from someone maybe who is better on the day, and then you come back next week and you show them what's what. You know, you make the adjustments, make the improvements, and for each team, it's the knowledge that it's not necessarily who wins today, who is the greatest player, who's the greatest, you know, duo. It is how you bounce back. It's how you improve. Your only enemy is yourself. So I love the and a nice little pistol
We like the
found in here
pistol.
by Hardcase. We like the pistols. Had to shout it out. But we like even more our players who keep themselves inspired, who are their own competition, who are their harshest critics, and continue to improve. It's been a really fantastic season here
Absolutely,
in that
it
respect.
has been a great season so far, and we still have an entire additional regular season game, and then we get into the postseason and physical. We are getting so near the 2025 National Championship Tournament, where these players will battle it out on LAN at various locations across the United States, competing for scholarship, prizing, and all the accolades that come with the title of national champion. So, an incredibly exciting time of year as these competitions really heat up. And that's been the case this spring series. These teams are competitive. We have a couple of teams that are leading the way right now, maybe ahead of the pack for sure, and we'll see if that's remains true as we look at the standings here after this game. But still, so many teams able to compete with them, and so many more teams ready to be in that position by the national tournament in June.
We're here, of course, with Leon and Clouds of the Roughnecks Red, and they've been a team that's been on our mind a lot today. They're a
Definitely.
team that is performant, not always the absolute top team of the day every single day, but is an extremely competent duo. One that you wouldn't want to face one on one. That is for certain. They're a very complex team. They love taking fights, but they're very smart about it. Very entertaining to watch. See if they can get a win here in this last one. We have a lot of teams that haven't won today. Of course, by the nature, only a maximum of 4 different teams can win each single day.
And two of them
So
today are
you
the
know
same at a Carolina Storm
exactly.
Academy. Yeah, so I mean, very, very competitive. Visible, we've been watching, kind of bouncing back and forth between the Roughnecks Red and Wolfpack Red, right? Two red rosters going up against each other. Of course, Hardcase playing as a solo right now. These two teams, as you can see on the minimap, they are now aware of each other, and the shots are being exchanged. Hardcase taking a couple of hits there. And Roughnecks Red, do they want this? Are they going to push and see what they can get? It looks like Carolina Storm Academy is in the mix as well, so I'll actually take a quick peek at our minimap, as we can see Carolina Storm Academy getting very near this skirmish as well. Not exactly sure where LeBron is at, but in any case, it looks like Hardcase has fully escaped this first skirmish here. So Hardcase, a big exit here to make sure that they're able to stay alive and healthy through that first engagement.
See here, hard case. It's been an interesting day, right? We have Wolfpack Red. Having to play solo in this match, very difficult. But you know, it lets you play in a new way. It gives you a different strategy. You really don't
Definitely
have the
is.
option to just take fights, casually.
Yeah, being able to adapt into this sort of situation is exactly the sort of thing that we would expect from a player that's playing in this position. And even with that being the case, Wolfpack Red, I think their roster is hard case right now. I think that is the state of the Wolfpack Red roster, and for Wolfpack Red to have that be the circumstance, and to be a top 10 team, right, where they're regularly kind of when we update the standings, they're usually in that like 6, 7, 8 range, right? For them to be a top 8, top 10 team in this league as a solo is very impressive. And so Hardcase is absolutely a player that can get it done. And as we are moving into some fresh builds here, might be tasked with getting it done here very quickly. It is a challenge. The reload format definitely lends a hand to anybody who has a second body, a duo, as the game is intended to be played. But Hardcase may be able to be a little bit more surgical, a little bit more methodical with the engagements, keep themselves alive, and come out on top. It's certainly possible. We've seen it done before. Carolina Storm Academy nearby this area as well. They're making a decisive rotation toward the Lizard Links Visible. No place I'd rather be. And as they go over there, we're just going to keep our eye on Cambu and Chesburger. Visible. Can you maybe remind me of our roster here for Cambu?
NCEA Gold.
Gold is the gold roster for the North Carolina Esports Academy. Man, North Carolina, such a strong showing all season, truthfully. A strong program, absolutely. But man, today has been fantastic for them with North Carolina Platinum winning game number 1, and then Carolina Storm Academy securing that win in game number 2. So realistically, even if you're not on the varsity team or the highest level team over at the North Carolina Esports Academy, you're constantly practicing and battling it out with top-notch players, top competitive players. And so you are still a very competitive player yourself. North Carolina Gold making a big rotation here, Visible. And we have a couple of teams in this area. So is this overzealous? Is this overconfident? Or is this just exactly the right amount of confidence? Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to keep up too directly. We can tune in to the Roughnecks Red roster, who are hanging out in Paradise Palms. I take it back. That sounds like where I want to be. For Lizard Links who?
I feel like that's not talked about enough. I think it's especially true when you're talking about competitive esports. You want to play against players who are as good, and especially you want to play against players who are better than you are, and you want to try to not have the ego, that doesn't allow you to learn from those moments, because there's plenty of times you and I do a lot of coaching, right? We have a varsity and a JV team, just by nature of high school esports, and the beauty of that is you can pit them against each other, and the JV learns so much. I mean, it's ridiculous how much they can learn by just pairing up with the varsity squad. So we get to see that a little bit here.
Oof.
Can be okay, not dead yet.
Going to go.
There we go, though.
Oh,
Unfortunate.
did Chesburger get eliminated? That is my
Chesburger
question.
got eliminated.
Okay, so that is going to be the full elimination then for the North Carolina Gold roster. North Carolina Platinum, they are still alive, but a skirmish is breaking out nearby. We are down to just 9 duos left, 17 players visible, so a few solos roaming around. And our side of the map has been a little bit quiet, but still, to get down to just 9 squads, that means that somebody has been doing a handful of eliminations. Maybe it's North Carolina Platinum. They've got a couple themselves. And as the map is tightening up here, we're going to really start to see it come into play. I mean, look at what is left here. Shots landing now. Onto who exactly? OG Leon gets knocked there for the Roughnecks Red roster. Visible.
Very interesting spot in the game here. We have the circle about to be decided. We can mercifully, we have the map available to us. Very nice. We can't take that luxury for granted.
We appreciate it, Fortnite.
At all in the Fortnite and the Spectator. So we get to see what's going to happen next a little bit, get a little bit of insight. We're going to finish off today in Paradise Palms, and what better location to end off here. Leon does get dropped at 2 a.m. Clouds, still healthy, still alive, so has opportunity, of course, to continue this game. You know what? Now that I say that, I don't know if we have time enough for Leon to come back, and it looks like it might have gotten eliminated there.
That could have been. I think that was the end there. It got a little bit sketchy on the Spectator, but I do think that was potentially the end. We will have to see. Right now, North Carolina Platinum, they have a strong position on the high ground here, and they are finding a lot of pressure onto another team, but with so many teams in this final area, that's exactly what you're expecting, Visible. Right as you try to extend an opportunity, another team pops up and takes advantage of it. Look at that, throws them into the open space to find the knock. It's Steph Curry's aura, Carolina Storm Academy. Carolina Storm Academy just running and gunning right now, trying to get back to Steph Curry here to catch up with this team. Carolina Storm Academy sitting on 15 eliminations. Visible, they have 2 wins on the day, looking for a third here. Not quite the Queen Street, but still a performance to be absolutely happy with. Alpha Esports 6, is that who it is? It was on the receiving end of some of that damage. At the same time, Hardcase engaging there too and getting an elimination. So that's going to be Wolfpack Black fully eliminated. And here's, I believe, that's Hardcase Visible getting the escape right now, because that was a third-party situation. If you blinked, you might have missed it, but Hardcase went in just at the same time there. And these two duos are both going to get a little piece of that pie, but in any case, it ends up with Wolfpack Black getting eliminated. LeBron falls Visible.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Not a good timing there, and very unfortunate. They've had a great day today, and this could end up in a little bit of catastrophe. Can't count Steph out yet, but the loss of LeBron this late into the game, I don't think we can get the res off, right? So this is going to be tough. We might be in that point of no return
Injuries are always a major
spot here,
concern for NBA players, but so Steph Curry,
especially once you're 40 years old now, you know.
yeah, it's bound to happen. Steph Curry just gonna have to play through it. In the same box, visible. I believe it's Cambo on the receiving end. Not sure who's going to land that first shot. Barely able to contain my thoughts here. My mind is racing. Can't find the words visible, but not able to find that elimination. Am I mistaken? Did Steph Curry make it happen? I don't think so.
I don't. Well,
Boost reset is down. I did not see an elimination come through, so unless my old eyes are just that, I think that somehow separated into nothing. Keeg the Destroyer does get eliminated. Hard Case is alive. Steph Curry, of course, still alive. 2 AM Clouds and OG Leon, a duo here. So that's it, Physical. That's the map right now. We have a duo out of the Roughnecks Red. Steph Curry is alive as a solo, and so is Hard Case, who, again, played this entire game out as a solo. We said it's possible. We said there's strategies to make it happen. Here they are on the podium. Wolfpack Red. And the pistol visible. I mean, at this point, just playing for the brownie points from the caster, we love to see that pulled out. Incredible if they're able to make something happen. The minimap says it best right now. 2 players alive for Wolfpack Red, or excuse me, for Roughnecks Red. And then, of course, our solo for Wolfpack and our solo for Carolina Storm Academy. We'll start by hanging out with Hardcase, trying to figure out what the engagement looks like. Needs to close the distance and get into the fight somehow. And it looks like it might be a 1v1 visible.
yeah, this is going to be insane. Hard Case has a chance here, a puncher's chance, as we talked about earlier, to get this done. Steph Curry is in a lot of trouble. I don't know if there's a way out of this, but if anyone can find it, it's him, but goes down nonetheless. So to only 2 wins on the day.
Only
their
2.
squad. Only 2, humbly only 2.
Out of the 4
They're
possible.
for the third one though, and kind of it slipped through their fingers a little bit.
They were very close. LeBron falling early was the early demise, and now Fizzball Hardcase has equalized it. It's a 1v1 scenario unless a resurrection is able to come through. I don't think it's likely. Hardcase is dropping into the box and trying to find the damage to give this player the win as a solo against all odds here. Impulse Nade, this is some aggressive gameplay coming through Fizzball. I cannot imagine being able to pull off a shot like that. And look at this, Hardcase is not letting up, breaking down the wall right now. OG Leon does end up falling, so it's a proper 1v1. Match number 4, the last match of this game day. A little bit of acrobatics to get the high ground visible. Any second now, somebody's going to land the shot that puts them on top. Good damage landing onto Hardcase. It's good news for Roughnecks Red fans, but this is far from over yet. Roughnecks has the high ground. 2 AM Clouds is a bit low on HP, trying to push in. I really think this is next shot wins visible. These players definitely can put that amount of damage out.
Getting very, very close indeed. The last second, Hardcase has a great argument to win this game. The one-on-one. Oh, it's gonna be so close. I can see, you can almost feel the nerves of both the players. And unfortunate, I think it does not take damage there. Okay.
Visible, we're running out of resources for Hardcase. The impulse nade plays have been so nice, and every single time he's flying through the air, the spectator in me just wants that shot to land because of how awesome it would be. But at this point, we're down on the low ground. We're down on resources. This is a sketchy spot to be. There's the engage. Hardcase is looking better on HP, or really it's close, not anymore for sure, as a rain of bullets lands onto the top of them. We're in one-shot territory here, trying to pop the mini just to get a little bit of HP back, but there's no security.
Just loving the tension in this final game. You can't ask for a better 1v1. This is, of course, the Wolfpack Red player we're spectating here in Hardcase, a solo who makes it all the way to the end. Can finish no worse than second in this match. Has to be happy with either, but really wants the gold here. It's the shields back, 2 AM Clouds, and we've seen plenty of Clouds all day here with Leon of the Tulsa Roughnecks Red. It's red on red, Wolfpack Roughnecks, and Clouds takes it for the Roughnecks. Beautiful, beautiful 1v1 to end our day.
Man, I have to let's take a look at our standings, and we'll kind of debrief here a little bit. As Roughnecks Red, they do get that win on the day. Carolina Storm Academy Physical, they got 2, And look at that, Visible. They've broken 300 points, nearly 400 points for Carolina Storm Academy.
Man, oh man.
First place,
What a ridiculous game.
211 limbs. That was a ridiculous game. I kind of feel like, I don't know, something must have been up with the spectator there, because that shot coming in from clouds, we couldn't really see how it landed exactly. I would have liked to see that, especially because of how tense that 1v1 was. Incredible performance from obviously 2AM Clouds to close out that victory royale, but certainly to Hardcase as well, to make it from front to back as a solo in that game. Fantastic for them to do so. But Visible, taking a look at our standings here, we have a top three, but it's not even a very decisive top three. Like Carolina Storm Academy, they're pretty comfortably at the top. Roughnecks Red, they're pretty comfortably in second place right now. But as you start to get that battle for third, you have the Yarks Fortniters, you have North Carolina Platinum, North Carolina Gold, all right there within less than 30 points of one another. So that battle for third right now is pretty competitive itself. And then you have to remember, of course, it all comes down to these postseason competitions. Points are reset to 0, and it's all on the table, right? You get additional qualification metrics by getting higher points in the regular season, which is great. But at the end of the day, you got to perform when it matters most in the postseason. So I don't know. Looking at the standings right now, is there any observations that you want to make?
Okay. Let's see. We have a number of teams rising and falling throughout the weeks, but the consistency of I'll always have to say a little something about the Fortniters staying in the podium and even winning in the past, but staying consistently good over a number of years, very difficult to stay hungry. The league always evolves and always, improves their skills across the board, so great for them to stay up. Alpha Esports, Wolfpack Red, getting that win, right?
Yeah.
Getting that win really big, separating themselves from sort of the lower end of the bracket, lower end of the standings. Gets them a little bit of breathing room, and they have a chance to break into that top 5 before the season is yet out. They're asked to really perform, but we've seen them perform before. And lastly, of course, Carolina Storm. How can you not shout out to 211 elims? Just
211.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
Number there.
an absurd number of eliminations. I mean, I can't wait to see the final standings. How is this going? How is the standings page going to look after one more regular season game day that is left to be played? So very excited to see that take place. And Visible, there is one more matter of business to attend to today, and that would be our V-Bucks giveaway. Here we have 4,000 V-Bucks to give away, 2,000 to 2 teams, and all you had to do was play Visible. Every point that you secured, whether it was an elimination or a placement point, earned you 1 entry into a V-Bucks giveaway raffle, if you will. And we do have our 2 winners Visible with 111 points, aka entries on the day. It's no surprise that Carolina Storm Academy, their number was pulled, and they are going to walk away with 2,000 V-Bucks on the day. Shout out to them. Congratulations to them. But we have 2 of these awards to give away, and the second goes to Wolfpack Black. Visible Wolfpack Black. Those players are going to be walking away with 2,000 V-Bucks for themselves. That is going to be a fun. I'm excited to see what skins we get to see in the next broadcast, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's always half of the fun is the names, and the other half of the fun is the skin game that our kids bring. So just love the creativity, love the fun they have. So
it's
all part of the fun.
Yeah, the third half is the fantastic gameplay that these players are able to put on. Third half, that the math checks out there, right?
Sure. Yeah, I'm not a math teacher.
Perfect. Well,
no, absolutely no idea, mate.
Yeah, no, these players put on such a great performance each game day, and with next game day being the final game day of the regular season, I have to assume that it is only going to get even better. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And I will see you then, Visible, for more AEA Fortnite. Thanks for tuning into these games with me today, and I will see you then.